the Football Tribe UG channel. Robert Kesakos is your usual suspect. Welcome back to yet another live broadcast on your favorite football updates channel. It's a pleasure to be back with you on this beautiful Wednesday night, the 18th of March 2026. As I speak, it's 9 minutes past the hour of 11 p.m. here in Kampala, Uganda, where we are following events from the game between following the events from the UEFA Champions League, a night for games between Bayern Munich and Atalanta on one end, Liverpool against Galatasaray, while we shall also be following the the events from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where Atletico de Madrid are still goalless in that one. So, of course, the main event is the Liverpool game, but make no mistake, all the other games are equally important. So we'll do our best to keep tabs on all the action and bring you the updates as they do stream through, as the case has always been here on our channel. So you'll allow me update our topics and things in that line, and we get down to the conversation. But while we wait for that to come through, please do not hesitate to go and check out that video that we did about the decision from CAF to overturn Senegal or to strip Senegal of their AFCON 2025 title and award it to Morocco. Oh, come on. Victor Osimhen is on the floor. Champions League, watch along. Liverpool vs Galatasaray. Yes. Tottenham. Meanwhile, in the early kickoff, Barcelona have put Newcastle to the sword, beating them by 7-2 to go through 8-3 on aggregate score there. So, not the kind of result that we would have hoped for, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But it just did not paint, Premier League football in good glory following the events that we also observed yesterday, as Chelsea were being dumped out of the competition 8-2 on aggregate score. That's quite been the demolition of Premier League teams thus far. Yet Manchester City also went out 5-2 on aggregate score in their tie against Real Madrid, against Arsenal. The only Premier League team to have advanced thus far to the to the quarterfinals of the competition, knocking out Bayer Leverkusen 3-1 on aggregate score, while Sporting Lisbon got the better of Bordeaux Glimont 5-3 on aggregate score following the 5-0 victory after extra time yesterday in that scintillating performance on the night. So it's quite interesting stuff that did happen last night. And like I said, in the early kickoff, Barcelona have just handed Newcastle quite the beating of a lifetime that they will live never to forget in their trips to Spain and as far as the Camp Nou is concerned. Was always going to be a long night for them at Camp Nou, but Barcelona just made it a very, very bitter one there for them. So I'm doing my best to keep tabs on all games as the case is. Neither team has yet to find the back of the net, but Bayern Munich are really, really pressing against Atlanta. There will be looking at the starting 11s of all teams that are in action tonight. Liverpool have had a sharp start to their night on the UEFA Champions League. If they go through, they'll meet PSG in the quarterfinals. And whoever goes through between Atletico de Madrid and Tottenham Hotspur will meet Barcelona. Bayern Munich have literally booked themselves a date with Real Madrid at the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League. So we're just waiting for that to see how it will transpire. I can see we have already a comment streaming through there from... Let me see if I can get your name right in just a second. Sometimes my reading ability is impaired by the slowness, by the many distractions on my screen. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the Football Tribe UG channel. I hope you're okay. Yes, your name is Christos. Christos or Christo SK. Is it Christo SK or Christos? Hi, how are you doing? Good to have you on the broadcast. Kindly like the broadcast, but also consider subscribing to the channel, given that it is the first time I'm seeing you here on the forum. But it's a pleasure to have you around for this watch along on this UEFA Champions League. Oh, you're from Greece. Wow. You're the first person we've had on the channel from Greece. That's impressive. So do us the kind honor and like the broadcast, but also subscribe to the channel. How is Greece? Okay, Greece is known for many things, but that place called Santorini is really is quite the place when it comes to tourism, but also football made in Greece is that's quite something. The clubs like Olympiacos really have made their names there, or put the names on the map. And then, of course, the gentleman Evangelos Marinakis, the Nottingham Forest owner, is also from that side. Chris is one of those countries with a very rich history. So thank you so much for joining us. You do support Olympiacos. Okay, that would be impressive if that is the case. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful night. I don't know. I do not have a secondary device for me to keep favorably in tabs with the comments, but I'll do my best for as far as the discussion lasts tonight. But yeah, a very impressive game that we did watch earlier on. A brace from Rafinha, a brace from Robert Lewandowski, a penalty from Lamine Yamal. I mean, Barcelona just too hot to handle. But if anything, they did prove that they can't concede, and playing that high line does always remain a risk that they do carry in as far as their games are concerned. So can see Marcos Llorente is on the floor in that game between Tottenham and Atletico de Madrid. He was pleading his case, but his cries fell on deaf ears for the referee. We'll be getting Bayern Munich already troubling Atlanta. They're even hungrier than ever before, as though they're the ones goes down. So Rafinha, a burst from him. Mark Beno among the goal scorers. Lamine Yamal and Fermin Lopez are the other two goal scorers for Barcelona, as they put as they put 7 past Newcastle, while Anthony Elanga picked up the brace in that game. Quite a very entertaining first half that ended 3-2 in favor of Barcelona, thanks to that late penalty, with Kylian Trippier being the culprit, pulling Rafinha in the area and conceding a penalty and a yellow card. But when they returned for the second half, they thought they could go toe-to-toe with Barcelona, persuaded by their own performance in the first half. And I think that's where they lost the trade. And they went on to a thorough beating. Bayern Munich really pressing. I don't know. Given my limited resources in terms of screen, I'm sort of persuaded to have a look at the starting 11s, perhaps at halftime. Okay, to go through the starting levels, Bayern Munich have Jonas Ubik in goal. They have Kim In-jae, Jonathan Tah, Tom Bischoff, Josep Stanisic, Leon Goretzka, Alexander Pavlovich, Rafael Guerrero, Luis Diaz, Leonard Karl, and Harry Kane. Remember, Michael Olise is out through suspension. And then on the side of Atalanta, they have Marco Sportello, they have Scalvini, they have Isaac Hein, they have Kosonou, they do have Lorenzo Banasconi. Yes, it's Banasconi. Anderson in that midfield. Remember, those ones missed the first leg. Mario Pasalic of Galatasaray are having to defend with their lives because they're being really put to the schools, being really pressed down. Hi Pedri, how are you? Newcastle Barcelona, did you watch this beauty? Obviously I did watch the game. A very beautiful game of football, particularly in the second half. Barcelona just simply ran away with it. I don't know, what did you make of that performance? I wasn't convinced by Lamine Yamal's first half performance, despite the penalty and his contribution in the first goal. I was less convinced, but in the second half, he really came good. Robert Lewandowski receiving lots of criticism. I was in a football forum where somebody had said, Robert Lewandowski no longer has it. He may as well go to the Major League Soccer. And as soon as he said that, he went on to score a brace, more like to shut up his doubters. And he has, registered another record, scoring against 41 different opponents in his UEFA Champions League record. So a very beautiful performance from Barcelona in the end, given how the scoreline does appear. But of course, they will carry some concerns. I do not think there are any new concerns. It's the same concerns that Barcelona fans have had to live with their entire lives, in as far as they've been under the charges of Hansi Flick when it comes to playing with that high line that is often beaten when teams get something against them. Liverpool, here they come again. Can they find something? Lucas Torreira may need to cut out that. He's on the floor, screaming for his life. I don't know how much there was in that contact, but the referee let it play on. It was a stamp on his foot by Alexis McAllister. Referee obviously did not get a good glimpse on that one. But yeah, Raul Bellanova is the other for that Atalanta side, while Charles de Cataleira is also in there. Gianluca Scamacca as well as Suleiman also all in action for that Bayern Munich side. What is Pedri trying to tell us in the comment section? Pedri says, we ran riot in the second half. First half, although we scored 3, we kept conceding after. And then we ran riot second half, 4 goals in 30 minutes second half. So happy Uncle Lewa helped us today. Indeed, he did. Then you say, however, Rafinha, my boy, was the star. 5-goal contribution today, 2 goals, 3 assists. Oh my God, how good, how wonderful is this man? I love him so much. My Balando Rafinha, I love you so much. Those are the comments from a very excited Pedri, who has just watched his Barcelona side obliterate Newcastle 7-2 in the early kickoff of the UEFA Champions League as they book their place in the quarterfinals of the competition. Indeed, a very beautiful performance from Rafinha, a captain's kind of performance, because he did wear the armband before Ronald Araujo was brought on for, I think, Eric Garcia in the first half. I particularly did not understand the substitution, but I do suspect it was sort of a forced substitution through injury, although in his sort of going off, Eric Garcia looked okay. He looked okay. Meanwhile, there's a potential penalty check in the Bayern Munich game against Atlanta. So there's a review on the screen for what appears to be a handball in the area. That's going to be awarded. Harry Kane's attempt is kept out by an Atlanta defender who puts his arm in the way. I think he's going to give that one without a doubt, unless he has a different reading of it. But it's a clear and obvious penalty upon review, in my humble opinion, in that regard. I don't know why he's taking so long. I think he's being shown different angles, but as soon as I saw it with the first replay, had my mind made up. But of course, he is the official. He has to look at every possible angle and make the correct judgment because the stakes are too high. Okay. Yep, it's a penalty for Bayern Munich. Pedri says Eric Garcia just felt something in his leg and nothing serious. It's better to make sure he's okay than risk. So hopefully he's good and healthy. Yeah, it did feel like a precautionary substitution, just pretty much like we saw yesterday. I think it was Ebeleche Eze who got withdrawn and Kai Havertz was brought on in that Arsenal game. I think for majority of big teams, especially at this stage of the season, where the stakes are really, really high, in terms of teams that are still involved in more than one competition, we know that Barcelona are chasing the Spanish La Liga, looking to defend that one at the expense of chasing Real Madrid. They would want to reserve to make sure all their key players remain fit for as long as they can for the remainder of this season. Let's see. Hurricane. It's served. Hurricane is kept out by the Atalanta goalkeeper. He had a hesitation, but looks like the penalty may be retaken. I don't know if the goalkeeper has been judged to have left his line so quite very quickly than he should have, but that incident is being looked at. Rafael Paladoni. Not sure I will be excited about that one, but they are having to retake the penalty for Bayern Munich because the goalkeeper left his line a little quicker than he should have. Hurricane puts it back where he put it in the first place, but this time around the goalkeeper goes in the opposite direction. It's a goal for Liverpool. Dominic Szoboszlai puts Liverpool in the lead just as Hurricane was doing the things at the other side. Dominic Szoboszlai first Liverpool in the lead, and it's 1-0 to the Liverpool there. Thank you so much, Pedri, for the update as well. Okay, you say Ebeleche Eze though. Oh my God, how good is Eze? What a goal he scored. He scored the goal of the season in the UEFA Champions League. What the hell was that crazy goal? Wow, indeed, it was. It's a kind of goal that any football fan anywhere, for as long as you're a football fan, you really, really did enjoy it. You didn't need to be an Arsenal fan or anything. You just needed to appreciate football enough for what it is. Galatasaray were caught napping. Dominic Szoboszlai gets past the ball right from the corner, and they're caught napping, and he puts it in the bottom corner. Beautiful, beautiful goal. So it's 1-1 on aggregate between Liverpool and Galatasaray, but 1-0 to the Liverpool on the night, as it is for Bayern Munich with that penalty from Harry Kane. Briefly reverting back to those other comments, you say his celebration was too cold as well. So cool. It was a cool one indeed. Yeah, Ebeleche Eze. I think as he has grown with the season, we know he's had many muted performances and things like that. But over the last two games, yesterday's game, for me, he would have easily gotten man of the match, although it was officially awarded to Declan Rice, but he really, really deserved it. I thought he had a good game. Same applies to Leandro Trossard, in my opinion, and there are so many good performers on the night. And for example, today I was watching the Barcelona-Newcastle game, and I thought in the first half, Dan Burn, what a player. I mean, the block he put in to deny Robert Lewandowski was just immense. It was just immense. He was really, really good on the night. He was really, really good on the night. By the way, let me ask, why do football fans get caged in German stadiums? I rarely see this in the Premier League. If if almost never. Like it feels they're caged in, And that's understand could be for security reasons, but it's the way sometimes it feels funny. So Bayern Munich lead 7-1 on aggregate. Tottenham will need a goal as soon as yesterday to brighten their chances of completing a comeback. If anything, yesterday, a Sporting Lisbon showed the world that it is possible, that you can do it. Oh, Galatasaray got away with one there. Mohamed Salah denied by Kaki. I would want to see the moment again. It was a header back. That was a header back to the goalkeeper that was intercepted by Mo Salah. Guys, we do have a game on our hands between Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, regardless of what you may think of Real Madrid. We do have a game on our hands. Meanwhile, Tottenham Hotspur have scored. It's 1-0. While I was busy looking over my shoulder to get a glimpse of that moment from Mohamed Salah, Tottenham Hotspur on the other side scored. Rando Kolomwani with a beautiful header, and it's 1-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. That will be the start. They would have loved to have a goal within the 30 minutes of the game, just like Bayer Leverkusen did. This Atletico Madrid side is one that is vulnerable to conceding, but they can also score on the other end. So Tottenham Hotspur will be dying to deny Atletico Madrid from conceding. Ademola Lookman a bit selfish there. Tottenham Hotspur, here they come on the counter again. Xavi Simons looking for, is that Dejat space? Anna Slot is more animated than an animation cartoon tonight. I don't know whether that's due to pressure or enthusiasm in this game. I really don't know how to put it. Meanwhile, Liverpool just missed a golden opportunity to go 2-0 up. Let's see. Flanvitz's attempt took a deflection, but he had hit it quite all right. Meanwhile, okay, I need to have a look at those Tottenham Hotspur line starting 11s with Atletico de Madrid, because I think it's more so in the... Liverpool hit the crossbar, but the whistle went. McAllister has been judged to have fouled the goalkeeper in that corner kick play. So quickly, let's go through the Liverpool starting 11s. Quickly, Alson Ramsey-Specker, Ibrahim Konate, Virgil van Dijk, Milos Kakez, Jeremy Frimpong, McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Franwitz, Mohamed Salah, and Hugo Ekitike. On the side of Galatasaray, they have Kaki in goal. They do have Singo in backline, Sacha Boy, Ismail Jacobs, Badachi. They do have Mario Lemina, Lucas Torreira, Gabriel Sala, Benas Alpha, then Roland Salai, and Victor Osimhen. Then quickly, what a hit from Dominic Soboslai. Ugo Kan Chakie is having quite the night. He's being forced into save after save, but that was well sliced by Dominic Soboslai. The way he slices it, he's quite a bit cheeky with it while putting as much strength as he could in that moment. Okay. Liverpool, here they come again. I don't know why Galatasaray are suddenly giving us so much space, especially on the left-hand side and in those midfield pockets. Okay, quickly. Tottenham Spurs, how have they set up tonight? They have Guillermo Vicario in goal, Radu Dragson, Mickey van der Ven, and Cristiano Romero in a back three. Wingbacks are Dejad Space and Pedro Polo on the right and left, respectively. Achai Gray, Pape Matsa, Rando Kolomwani, Matthias Tel, and Xavi Simons. Remember, Richarlison is suspended for this one. On the side of Atletico Madrid, they have Joan Mosso. They do have Matteo Ruggeri. David Hanko, Robin Lee Nomad, Molina, Giuliano Simeone, Marcos Llorente, Johnny Cardoso, Ademola Lookman, Anton Griezmann, and Julian Alvarez. Not much has changed from the starting 11 that won 5-2 at the Riyadh Air Stadium over there in Spain, apart from, I think, the omission of Jan Oblak, who is out through injury. Galatasaray, Soboslai returning back just in time to help Jeremy Frimpong on his defending duties. He's not the best of defenders. Jeremy Frimpong, very good going forward. Matthias Tel just missed an opportunity to get the second for Tottenham Hotspurs. That was a good save from Mosso. Otherwise, it will be 2-0 by now. And Diego Simeone will be under enormous pressure. I have no wishes for Tottenham Hotspur to go through, but it's not that they are incapable. Football is full of its surprises. And Spurs could stand Atletico de Madrid. Whether they can keep a clean sheet, that remains to be seen. The Bayern Munich game is a bit mute. Bayern Munich dominating possession, as you'd expect. Not sure Atalanta have even had a shot on target. Every Liverpool player trying to motivate that Anfield fan base into the loudest of noises. Victor Osimhen has struggled through this game. Looks like his arm has an issue, even though he's playing on. He can hardly get in any physical duels. Seem to have hurt his arm or shoulder earlier on in the game, showing us that Mosso saved Joan Mosso, keeping Matthias Tel out. Igor Tudor could hardly believe his eyes. because that second goal will mean much more to Tottenham Hotspurs and to the world of football than most people may think. Bayern Munich. Leonard Carl, he has a longer beard than most 30-year-olds for a youngster. I'm still underwhelmed by Atletico de Madrid's performance thus far on the night. They obviously can do better. Anna Slot, really an animated figure tonight. He's reacting to every little piece of action there is on the pitch. The referee is aiding Galatasaray's build-up. Uh-oh. You can see Victor Osimhen is really trying to be careful with his arm. Uh-oh. Whoa. Kim Min-jae. Are you in for war? That was quite the hard tackle. You're not missing much. Leonardo Simeone is on the floor. Got into it with Dejad space. I think we'll be really looking forward to those quarterfinals. It does promise to be a blockbuster, I'm assuming. I was noting on earlier on, almost preparing myself to do a preview for the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals, and beyond the two confirmed fixtures of Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich, and then Arsenal Sporting CP. I'm looking forward to a Liverpool versus PSG. I'm looking forward to a Barcelona versus Atletico de Madrid. I don't know, because I believe Tottenham Hotspurs will be too weak a team to face Barcelona. But whereas Atletico Madrid wouldn't be any stronger by miles, that domestic league La Liga derby would give us quite the encounter for the quarterfinals. Oh, Rando Colomwani testing Mosso once again. Atletico de Madrid giving out too many chances and spaces for Tottenham to exploit, and yet they're not going forward really well. Most of their attacks are going through Ademola Lookman, but with little success. So those are the ones I envision thus far. Of course, we'll have more. How many more fixes? By the way, that's the quarterfinals. It's nothing more. That's 8 teams. And then possibly a semi-final between PSG and Bayern Munich. Those two have unfinished business. Bayern Munich beat up against PSG beat Bayern Munich, I think at the FIFA Club World Cup, or Bayern Munich beat PSG at the league phase by 2-1. So, oh, oh, Julian Alvarez with the long-range attempt on that Tottenham Hotspur goal, but all they got is a corner kick for it. Anton Griezmann will be bringing it in. Soboslai is really enjoying himself tonight. Atletico Madrid have gone short. Oh, come on. That was a poor Leon. Oh, wow. What a save from Vicario. Giuliano Simeone testing him from distance. Ball took a bit of a deflection, I think, of Pedro Porro. Oh. Vicario got his hand to it and managed to keep that out. Real Madrid will have to do more testing Vicario from distance. Bayern Munich. To be fair, Atlanta have really defended well. Better than they did in the first leg. Must acknowledge. I know Vincent Kompany is big, but does he need to put on very big pants? The huge, the gigantic. Some people like his sense of fashion. Tottenham Hotspurs, here they come again. Digit space. Matthias Thiel. Uh-oh. Bayern Munich are really, really squeezing in, but Atlanta hardly giving them the spaces in that final third. They're sitting really, really deep, retreating into that back five kind of formation. If you're just joining us, welcome back to the Football Tribe UG channel. Robert Kesakos is my name. We're following the events from the UEFA Champions League on this beautiful night. Liverpool have been awarded a penalty. I need to have a review of that incident. There is contact because it doesn't get a touch of the ball. We're at the tail end of the first half. 3 minutes were added into the Bayern Munich game, 5 in the Liverpool game, and 2 for the Spurs game. Mo Salah has been handed the responsibilities while the referee has sent us into halftime in the Tottenham Atletico Madrid game, with Tottenham leading by a goal to nil. Had a good performance against Liverpool over the weekend. Liverpool fans will hold their breath. Atalanta coming forward, but Bayern Munich keeping them at bay. Can the Egyptian come good? Oh, he's kept out. He's been kept out. What a save. Mohamed Salah should be doing better, should be putting more strength on that one. Goalkeeper saves Kaki, saves with his feet. So it remains 1-0 heading into halftime. Bayern Munich, we are at halftime. Hein trying to tell the referee something. Sportelio is a goalkeeper, not Casenecchi tonight. Galatasaray. Oh, Salah with the header, but Alson Ramsey-Specker was quite in the right place. Salah kept out once again, and Florian Wirtz by the goalkeeper in quite quick succession. The Galatasaray goalkeeper has been the first half-match man of the match. He's had some brilliant saves to keep Galatasaray into the game. Anfield is well lit, but it is what it is. Sounds like it wants to rain on the outside. Feeling a bit famished. That's how it's ended. Meanwhile, I'm using halftime to have a review of some of those highlights from yesterday's game between Arsenal and Bayer Leverkusen. But quite the brilliant first half. I think Liverpool will be happy with their performance, but disappointed that they are not 2 or 3-0 up after the first half. But they've had quite a beautiful performance. They've only been kept out by the goalkeeper. Kaki, who's been really, really incredible. That goal by Dominic Soboslai gives them the halftime advantage. Elsewhere, between Tottenham Hotspur and Atletico de Madrid, Rando Colomwani's goal is still the difference going into halftime. Musso will equally be impressed by his own performance. He did deny or keep out Matastel. So, which was really, really impressive. On the other side, Bayern Munich are also 1-0 up, thanks to that retaken penalty from Harry Kane. He missed the first one, or the goalkeeper saved it, but he was just to have gone off his line a little too early. So it remains 1-0. Oh. So very impressive, but Chelsea and Newcastle have left quite the stain on Premier League football. Not because they've been knocked out, but with the amount of goals they've conceded over both legs. But that goal from Ebeleche Eze from yesterday is one that we'll talk about for quite some time. Because the way he takes the ball with his left and makes the turn and strikes it with his right was simply sublime. Simply sublime. You just had to be there. Wasn't even looking at the goal. It's like he knew where he was standing and what he needed to do as soon as he got that ball. The goalkeeper was sort of surprised that he was still diving even after the ball had hit the back of the net. Doesn't score very ordinary goals. He likes a screamer, like he did against a Mansfield Town in the FA Cup. So, and then you remember that sort of jumping kick that he scored against Crystal Palace. Then he had a brilliant strike in one of his goals against Tottenham Hotspur. So, yeah, he's that kind of player. I don't know whether Barcelona will be considering it, but perhaps they could test Newcastle's resolve to keep Lewis Hall, such a good left back. Trying to make sense of that Declan Rice goal from yesterday. We sort of hit it as though he was passing it. It's beautiful to watch. He had to put it close to the post. to keep the goalkeeper at bay. But what a season he is having. £100 million worth. You know? So, following Raya's performances this season, and given that they have a cup final to play against Manchester City, there is an ongoing debate among these Arsenal fans on who should start in the final between David Raya and Kepa Arrizabalaga. Now, I, for one, I would simply say thank you, Kepa Arrizabalaga, for bringing us thus far. But we've got to go with our number one here. It's harsh, but the stakes are too high. So, anyways, we'll have to wait and see. That's Mikel Arteta's decision to make. We can only speculate. We can only give our views and opinions. But we'll be hoping that he cares as much as we do, or thinks about it the same way we do. Whoa, what kind of advert is that? Jesus Christ. This is an advert. On my screen was about ending violence against women, but they used the snake. And I'm like, how is that even possible? How dare they? You know? So meanwhile, tomorrow, don't forget, action returns from the UEFA Europa League as well as the UEFA Conference League for the reverse fixtures of the round of 16. So that is happening tomorrow, which is Thursday, which is today, essentially in Uganda, the 19th of March, 2026. So plenty of action. Nottingham Forest 1-0 behind against Midtjylland. They'll need to battle that out if they want to go through. Crystal Palace could not win against Lanaka in the Conference League. Roma and Bologna, that one is all square, 1-1. Aston Villa have a 1-0 lead over Lille. Meanwhile, it has started raining out there, and there is a habit in Uganda. And when it starts raining, but oftentimes goes off. So should that be the case, we will have to end our broadcast prematurely. But I'll be hoping against hope that it doesn't come to that for tonight. But with that said, I also wish to say thank you so much to all our new subscribers. Thank you so much for choosing the Football Tribe UG channel. Let me update this. So yeah. Guys, do not forget to go and tomorrow we have a video premiering, by the way. Very early. It will premiere in the morning. I presume at around 8:30. Should it? Was supposed to premiere this evening, but power went off, so I did not get to premiere it. It's about whether Manchester City's exit from the Manchester City's exit from the UEFA Champions League could be a blessing in disguise. As a matter of fact, let me have that scheduled for tomorrow at 8:30. should be on. So yeah, I'd hope to premiere it at around 5 or 6 p.m. thereabout, but Power decided to check out, and therefore were unable to do it. So and the time, by the time Power got back, UEFA Champions League games started. Barcelona were already in action, so I figured even if I do premiere it, people are going to be preoccupied watching the UEFA Champions League. But do check it out. Do check it out. The second half's about to get underway. For our games, Tottenham Hotspurs are back. Oh, come on. That's not what I was looking at. Oh, really? Bayern Munich players walking down the stairs of the Allianz Arena. Massive, massive stadium. Can be an intimidating place to be. But do not forget, the UEFA Champions League final this year will be in Budapest, in Hungary. But yeah, we are back with that Tottenham Atletico de Madrid game. Atletico de Madrid looking to restore parity tonight. Beautiful pass from Ademola Lookman. Oh, what a goal. Julian Alvarez smashes it in. 1-1. Tottenham 1. Atletico de Madrid 1 at 6-3 on aggregate. But that's a beautiful, beautiful goal. Tottenham Hotspurs are contesting the goal. I don't know what their grounds for contesting it. They claim there was a foul, I think, on Xavi Simons on the other side, but the referee did not call it. And that's how Atletico de Madrid went on a quick counter and they ended up scoring. Of course, they'll have a look at that, but I do not think the goal will be chopped. But it's 1-1 at the moment between Tottenham Hotspurs and Atletico de Madrid. Liverpool, Miloš case. I don't know why do players these days push their shins so low, and then they put their stockings under the calves. I've seen players are increasingly doing it. Jack Grealish, Emily Smith-Rowe, Hugo Ekitike, Dominic Soboslai, Miloš Kakes. I see lots of players doing it. Galatasaray nearly pulled one back, but Virgil van Dijk's intervention was quite spot on or timely. Tottenham's appeal fell on deaf ears, so the game is 1-1. That means that Tottenham have to try and go again. Igor Tudor got himself a yellow card in the process, being involved in the Tottenham protest for contesting that early goal from Julian Alvarez. Meanwhile, we'll be looking at the end of these fixtures, we'll be looking at some of the views coming in from CAF President Patrice Motsepe in the wake of the CAF appeals board. Senegal, the Senegalese government says CAF should be investigated for possible corruption because they think that decision that was made by the CAF Appeals Board is quite abysmal. Well, we'll wait. We'll wait what the verdict will be from the Court of Arbitration for Sport, because that's where the federation, the Senegalese, said will be launching their appeal in that decision that strips them of the AFCON title of 2025. Meanwhile, Hugo Ekitike has just forced Kaki into a near post save. Kim In-jae. Oh, just toyed with Liverpool there. Just toyed Liverpool there. With Liverpool there with some beautiful tic-tac football. Tottenham Hotspurs, here they come again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ibrahim Konate very physically imposing on Noah Lang. Sorry, on Baris. Not happy with the referee's verdict or view of that, in calling it for a foul. Bayern Munich have decided to play a friendly game because, it's a goal for Tottenham Hotspurs. Xavi Simons scores to make it 2-1. Wow, what a game we are having on our hands. Remember the early kickoff between Barcelona and Newcastle? It was 2-2. It was 2-2 before the half-hour mark. This one is not the same scenario, but wow, what a strike. Achai Gray providing the assist, but what a strike from Xavi Simons. He bends it to the far post, beyond the reach of Moso. That was well struck. Beautiful, beautiful goal to restore Tottenham's lead. Now they need to find the third of the night. Igotido celebrated that one, but quickly reminded himself that they have already conceded. It would have been sweeter if they had not conceded that equalizer earlier on from Julian Alvarez. Xavi Simons screaming at his teammates to stay focused. Liverpool they've had two chances. One fell to Mo Salah. They could not get there quick enough. Here he comes again. Salah. Oh, it's a goal. Hugo Ekitike, Mo Salah with the assist. That was the right decision. That as soon as he receives the ball, it's only one decision to make, the obvious decision. Pass it to Hugo Ekitike. Tap it into the back of an nearly empty net. For all the good that the goalkeeper has been, he could not get onto this one. That's Kaki, the Galatasaray goalkeeper. Beautiful, beautiful goal. But that assist from Mo Salah. Ordinarily, you would have a player of his caliber trying to be selfish, trying to be the hero of the night. But he's just made the right decision there. It's just Raymond Kangumba says Barcelona versus Newcastle United. We're going to read that comment. Just having that quick review of the of the Ekitike goal. As soon as he gets that ball, he knows there's one thing to do. Ekitike is up there at the back end of the post of the 18 yards box. Slot it to him, and he puts it in the back of the net. Beautiful, beautiful goal. An easy tap in. Okay. Raymond says Barcelona versus Newcastle United. We out of the Champions League. Eddie Eddie Howe sacked from Newcastle United now, and De Zerbi appointed as the manager for Newcastle United now from Ray. Looks like Raymond is requesting for the sacking of Eddie Howe as Newcastle boss and be replaced by Roberto De Zerbi. He's not the only one who of the view that Newcastle need to move on from Eddie Howe and move on to another manager that can take their project to the next level. Oh, what a strike from Mo Salah. And it's a goal. Ryan Gravenberch. What a beautiful goal. Mohamed Salah with a swift strike, kept out by the goalkeeper, Kaki, and then on the rebound, on the second time of asking, Ryan Gravenberch puts it in the back of the net, and it's 3-0 for Liverpool. Beautiful, beautiful. 2 goals, 2 in quick succession in the second half, have been the difference thus far. His own side, Mo Salah, he took it first time, put the goalkeeper to the test, but as soon as he kept it out, it was Ryan Gravenberch that reacted the quickest, and he put it in the back of the net. Hit the ball in the floor, and it bounced off the turf before hitting the back of the net. Is Hugo Ekitike in an offside position? Was he obstructing the goalkeeper? I certainly don't think so. Meanwhile, Tottenham Hotspur's Radu Dragson required treatment. Okay, yes, we did have, meanwhile, Bayern Munich have also scored to make it 2-0 on the night. Another team to make it 8 goals on aggregate score. Remember, PSG did it. Barcelona have done it. Now Bayern Munich are doing it. Wow. 8 goals. Last season, Arsenal knocked out PSV at the round of 16, 9-3 on aggregate score. Salah denied, kept out this time round. But Galatasaray will know that they've let themselves down. So yes, I was telling you that we, couple of months back, we used to have Dennis Chooks. He's a Newcastle fan, and he seems to have the same suggestion that they need to rid themselves of Ed Howe at the end of the season. Although for him, his suggestion was to bring in Jose Mourinho, a manager for whom many think he's past his glory days. So it's a bit, you must be cautious about that. But Roberto De Zerbi, bit of a feist one, very tactical manager, obsessed with the tactics, does get into feist situations or arguments. It's a goal. It's an own goal. Oh, single. I'm not sure he meant that, but it's 4-0 to Liverpool. It's turning into a rout. This feels like Liverpool versus Karabakh all over again on the night. Anfield is becoming too untenable for Galatasaray, a team that they had only beaten up against once in their last 7 meetings. Wow. Oh, but Jeremy Frimpong appears to be in an offside position, so it may be chopped because he lays in the cross before Singo connects it into the back of his own net. I'm not sure what he was trying to defend because meanwhile, Bayern Munich have scored the third. Wow. What's wrong with teams? They are running right in the second half. Bayern Munich are 3 up against Atlanta. Liverpool's 4th goal has been chopped off. There was an offside in the build-up. So Singo gets away with that one. But looks like, Atalanta get caught out of possession. Hurricane involved there. Luis Diaz with the assist to Leonard Karl, who scores to make it 3-0 for Bayern Munich. Beautiful, beautiful goal. And Vincent Kompany is extremely excited with that one. Really, really beautiful. That's 4 goals in 7 matches for Leonard Karl. Remember, he scored the consolation for Bayern Munich when they beat up against Arsenal. Sorry, when Arsenal beat up against Bayern Munich by 3 goals to 1 at the Emirates Stadium. Oh. Radu Dragson tried to get the third for Tottenham Hotspur tonight, but Mosso was right there. Galatasaray, I'm not sure they still have anything close tonight. May as well throw in all they got in terms of the attacking force. Well, Salah was a non-offside position there. Guillermo Vicario just kept out an attempt from who's that? Was that Julian Alvarez? No, didn't appear like so. So I think that school of thought is growing. That Ed Howe, of course, obviously this season hasn't been good enough, but yeah, we'll wait and see what kind of decision Newcastle eventually make. But they could use a change of managers and see if they can get a manager that takes them from that level to the other. I don't know the kind of sentiments that lay within the Aston Villa fan base, but we have had rumors. Pedro Porro putting Mosso to the test from distance, but he managed to keep that one out into a corner. I do not know the sentiments within the Aston Villa fan base, but there have been allegations and suggestions that perhaps they should have a swap of Unai Emery, who has been at the helm of the club, I think for close on to 4 years now. Found them battling relegation after the stint of Steven Gerrard and made them one of the most competitive sides. They've qualified for the UEFA Champions League, qualified for Europe on multiple occasions under his charges. But of course, Aston Villa have their problems that relate to finances and how they can spend in terms of improving their squad, which has been a huge thing. Isn't that a handball from Kim Min-jae? It's like a ball to hand, but that hand was in a natural position. Should be a penalty for Atlanta, who are 9-1 behind on aggregate. But could interpret it as a ball to hand, but his hand was far out of his natural position. Of course, he's in action, so it's been deemed a ball to hand. I think the on-field decision will stand. No penalty. Check is over. It wasn't intentional, to be fair. So, Ekitike. Diego Simeone, always animated on the touchline. Man who loves black as much as I do. I don't wear it often because of the weather. Wow. At long last, the Egyptian has come good. That's his 50th goal in the UEFA Champions League. Half a century of goals. Mohamed Salah. Write him off at your own risk. He's capable of coming up with a good moment, and he's just done so. He provided the assist for their second goal. He was involved in the third. It was his attempt that was saved before Ryan Gravenberch got the rebound, and now he's scored a brilliant one. Is he onside? Appears to be. Milos Kakis. Sorry, it was Florian Wirtz who darts it for him, and he went for the top corner. He curled that one into the top corner, beyond the reach of Kaki. He knew Kaki was good enough, so he put it beyond his reach. Wow, Diego Simeone is looking very displeased with his team, always animated. Steven Gerrard is in the stands cheering Liverpool on, a team he played for his entire career, Captain Fantastic, helping them win the UEFA Champions League title of 2005 when they came from 3 goals down against AC Milan in Istanbul. So, yep, Captain Fantastic is in there. The UEFA Champions League final ended on penalties. Looks like Tottenham Hotspurs have withdrawn Radu Dragsson for Destin Udogi. So swap for a defender. Tottenham Hotspurs, you're looking for goals. Aren't you better off retreating to a back four and add on attacking power from midfield? Come on. Oh! Atlanta were close to pulling one back. It's Liverpool 4, Galatasaray 0. Goals from Dominic Soboslai, Hugo Ekitike, Gravenberch, and Mohamed Salah are the difference, while Tottenham Hotspurs are leading Atletico de Madrid by 2 goals to 1. Goals from Rando Colomwani and Xavi Simons, while that over Atletico de Madrid was scored by Julian Alvarez on his return to England. Remember, he played for Manchester City before joining Atletico de Madrid in the summer of 2024. Mo Salah with a corner kick. Wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool scored from a corner kick. You have the players quite capable. Ibrahim Konate, Virgil van Dijk, Hugo Ekitike could easily make it 5. But it was too short. Jeremy Frimpong floats it back in, but did not have the height on it. Galatasaray have finally brought on Leroy Sané, but I think it's a little too late. They cannot salvage this one. Short of a miracle, there's no way back for them. I've never seen a team do it, that they came from 4 goals down, the reverse fixture, to win it. Meanwhile, amongst the teams that have made it to the quarterfinals, Arsenal have scored the fewest number of goals. They only scored 3. Liverpool have scored 4 so far. Atletico de Madrid have scored 6. Even Spurs have scored 4. Barcelona have scored 8. PSG 8. Bayern Munich have scored 9 so far. So really, wow. Julian Alvarez, that was quite something. If he had ended up scoring, that would have been quite the goal. That would have been quite a goal. Oh. They sent Dejan Space to the cleaners. Diego Simeone could not believe it. Meanwhile, Liverpool just hit the crossbar. Oh! Wow! What an assist that would have been for Mohamed Salah. The way he caught that backline napping to pass that ball to McAllister, right? Oh, goalkeeper was allowed to eat, saved it. Rebound fell to Hugo Ekitike, and his header went over the bar. Liverpool may be 4-0 up, but could have easily been 7 up had it not been for the heroics of the goalkeeper. 15 shots on target for Liverpool. That is impressive. That's even one more than Sporting Lisbon. Liverpool may have taken a page out of Sporting Lisbon's book, even though for Sporting Lisbon, it took them a little longer, but obviously the other ones were 3-0 down. Okay, you can see we have another comment from Ray. Oh, is it another comment or the same comment? You say Barcelona versus Newcastle. Newcastle are already out of the UEFA Champions League, have Eddie Howe sacked. Oh, that was adventurous from McAllister trying to bet his chances to get his name on the score sheet. Meanwhile, it's 4 for Bayern Munich. Luis Diaz on target there. So that's 10-1 on aggregate. The Senegalese president updated his profile with the picture of the AFCON trophy in the bookshelf somewhere in his office. They're holding on that one tight. Meanwhile, I've missed watching Luis Diaz's goal while I was busy caught up with that, but he's now scored 4 goals in the UEFA Champions League. He scored over the weekend in their 1-1 draw against Bayer Leverkusen. Julian Skamaka among those withdrawn. Eddie Howe has been told to step down. Some Newcastle fans calling him for his head on the spike. Oh! Julian Alvarez sent Guillermo Vicario scrapping with his brilliantly taken free kick. It looked like it was dipping in. Oh! Vicario got his fingers to that one, but it was close. Pavic on, Nicholas Jackson on there. Oh, meanwhile, it's a goal for Atletico de Madrid. Henko on target, so it's 2-2. That means 7-4 on aggregate. By the way, Spanish La Liga teams have made Premier League teams look like amateurs at the knockout stage. You remember, at the league phase, it was the Premier League teams that were dominating. Liverpool beat Real Madrid by 1-0. Man City beat Real Madrid by 2-1. Arsenal beat Atletico de Madrid by 4-0. And then they beat Bilbao by 2-0. Then which other Spanish encounter was there? Mohamed Salah is just requested to be taken off. He's requested with a substitution. Usually when a player requests for that, either they are tired, fatigued, or they're injured. But he's requested to come off. But that was quite the standout performance. Uh-oh. There's no African player that has scored more goals in the UEFA Champions League than the Egyptian international. Half a century of goals. But yeah, Liverpool 4, Galatasaray 0, Bayern Munich 4, Atalanta 0. That's 10-1 on aggregate. Liverpool will have a trip to the Amex Stadium over the weekend in the Premier League, while Tottenham Hotspurs, their engagement is against Nottingham Forest in the relegation derby. Whoever wins that will have higher chances of staying up, perhaps, on match day 31 of the Premier League. Uh-oh. Barcelona have scored 303 goals in 105 games under Hansi Flick, an underrated manager, some people would want to think. Aha. Okay. Ebike Bina, is it Ebike Bina, Germany, says hi to you too. Earlier on, Raymond was saying, already out of the Champions League at house sack from Newcastle. now, and Dizabi replaced Eddie Howe as manager. We'll have to wait and see if they view things the same way. But there's a player needing to be stretched off in the Liverpool game. It appears to be a Galatasaray player, I think. I don't know who it is. Mauro Icardi being ready to come on. I think Tottenham have started to give up, starting to look forward to that relegation derby against Nottingham Forest over the weekend. Christian Romero has been withdrawn for Kevin Danso. Conor Gallagher has also come on to face his former side in Atletico de Madrid. Amban has been handed over to Mickey van de Ven. Liverpool game is at a standstill because of that injury to a Galatasaray player. Referee wants to get the game on. Noah Lang has been replaced by Mal Icardi, who soon will be turning 33. Scored 32 goals across all competitions for Galatasaray last season. Has about 15 thus far this season, according to the commentators. There's a young cute kid on the screens with his dad, presumably. Noah Lang has been stretched off. Appears to have hurt his arm, I think. Game has resumed while Julian Alvarez is being withdrawn for Atletico de Madrid, showing us his beautiful goal against Vicario. Had a brilliant free kick that was close. Uh-oh. UEFA referees have been quite lenient with goalkeepers. Scalvini out, Anka Ahano on, not Anka, Ahano. Guerrero out, Ito on for Bayern Munich. Ito. Atletico de Madrid fans out there in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium stands, chanting and cheering their team on as it marches on to the quarterfinals, where they will be facing Barcelona. So it will be a domestic La Liga derby. Barcelona will not need to travel out, nor will Atletico de Madrid, while Bayern Munich will have to make the trip to Spain, and vice versa. Arsenal will make the trip to Portugal, and the reverse will be true for Sporting CP, while Liverpool will be taking the trip to France before PSG come over. We're having a repeat of the round of 16 of last season's encounter between those two, just as much as we did have an encounter at the round of 16 between Man City and Real Madrid, a repeat of the UEFA Champions League playoff from last season. Liverpool still pressing on for the fifth. Milos Kakes lays it up. Fell for Cody Gakpo, but did not connect with it well. Meanwhile, Giuliano Simeone is being withdrawn for the Atletico de Madrid side for Gimenez. Raúl Gimenez. Okay. Let's see what Raymond is saying. Raymond says, I am happy Liverpool are through to the quarterfinals and Ed Howe sacked from Newcastle, now Andy Zabi appointed and replaces manager. Okay. I understand your frustrations with Ed Howe, but to be fair, his team played really, really well in the first leg, and so did they in the first half of the second leg. It's in the second half where they lost the plot. I think they were very encouraged by their first half performance that they persuaded themselves into thinking that they could go toe-to-toe with Barcelona and play with the high line, for which they got penalized for. And then Jacob Ramsey playing himself into trouble when he tried to make the wing switch from one side to the another. That ball was intercepted by Rafinha before he smacked it into the back of the net. We're into the 86th minute. Some of these games. Tottenham Hotspur game is close to its climax. We're into the 90th minute there. By the way, Atlanta scored to pull one back, so it's 10-2 on aggregate score. A ticket trying to find his second of the night. So close, but not close enough. Liverpool bringing on Nyoni, Riongo Moha, and Federico Chiesa. Liverpool have quite some firepower. El Mali just kept out Soboslai. Not sure Ektike was onside in there. But Tottenham Hotspurs have a penalty, and it's Xavi Simons stepping forward for it, and he scores 3-2 for Tottenham Hotspurs. To be honest, they have had a better performance tonight than they did in the first leg. Had it not been for their misgivings from the first leg, maybe, just maybe, tonight would have turned out quite differently. That's the third penalty that we've had tonight, actually the fourth. Barcelona had one that was converted by Lamine Yamal. Liverpool had one that was missed by Mo Salah. Bayern Munich had one that was converted by Harry Kane on the second time of asking, while Xavi Simons has converted one for Tottenham Hotspurs. So that's 4 penalties on the night. Looks like I need to note that down. Okay. And it's a goal. McAllister, will it stand? Looks like the referee is calling for a foul on the goalkeeper. Is there? I don't think that's a foul. The goalkeeper basically holds the ball onto the head of the goalkeeper. Ball falls down. McAllister taps it in. I don't see how that is a foul because Virgil van Dijk jumped to play the ball, makes no contact with the goalkeeper. How is that a foul? This is what I've been saying. This is what I've been saying about European referees. This is what I've been saying about European referees. They are obsessed about protecting goalkeepers, that it's coming with some really, really bad decisions or poor decisions. Randall Colomwani just been kept out there as Tottenham Hotspurs press on for the 4th of the night. Still somehow carry their hopes and beliefs. Oh, is that a penalty? Will they appeal for that? It's a corner kick. It will be checked. Igotido is very unimpressed. No, that's a dive. That's not a penalty. That's a dive. A blatant dive. How is that not? How? I still don't get it. Kaki gets it wrong. There's absolutely no foul in that. And the mere fact that VAR have left the on-field decision to stand tells you everything you need to know. Atletico Madrid, here they come on the counter-attack, but Dejan Space matched the pace of the Atletico Madrid attacker and managed to keep that one out. Kevin Danso being accused of being a little too passionate there. It's finished between Bayern Munich and Atlanta. Liverpool, here they go again. We have 6 minutes of added time 3 of those have been played. So Bosley, put it wide. Cody Gakpo could not intervene. Uh-oh. I don't see how Atletico de Madrid gets the better of of Barcelona in the quarterfinals. Barcelona will be plotting their revenge, having been knocked out by the same side in the Copa del Rey semi-finals, 4-3 on aggregate score. But it's all done and dusted between Tottenham Hotspurs. Oh, is it? Yes, it's all done between Tottenham Hotspurs and Atletico de Madrid. 3-2 on the night. Victory for Spurs, which is 5-7 on aggregate score. Wow. Premier League teams have been conceding for fun at this stage of the competition. Out of the six teams that qualified for the round of 16, only 2 are left. 5 of those had finished in the top 8. Federico Chiesa Yep. We are waiting for the Liverpool game to get wrapped up, and we'll be calling it a night at the very tail end of it. So be sure you're not missing much. Liverpool still pressing on for that goal. But McAllister's attempt was deflected. It's been 1 hour and 49 minutes of this broadcast. It's all over. Liverpool through to the quarterfinals, 4-1 on aggregate score. Bayern Munich through 10-2 on aggregate score. Barcelona through to the quarterfinals, 8-3 on aggregate. Spurs knocked out, 7-5 on aggregate. Had a better performance tonight. They did win, but the damage had all been done from that first leg. But I did not think Atletico de Madrid were good on the night. Meanwhile, Braga are through against French Virus in the UEFA Europa League. That game was played today. So, yep, that's pretty much it from the UEFA Champions League tonight. To set up quite the semi-finals, the quarterfinals. Real Madrid will be up against Bayern Munich. Sporting CP will take on Arsenal. Atletico de Madrid will be versing Barcelona. While PSG will verse Liverpool in that specific order. And the reason as to why it is in that specific order is simply because teams that finished within the top 8 get to play the second leg at home. So teams that came through the playoffs, or if you finished lower, you do find yourself in the you play first at home and then you play the final game away from home. So okay, let's look for some reaction on that. But Premier League teams have not paid themselves in glory. Really? Meanwhile, Kenya today commissioned a 10,000-seater stadium in Busia Town. It's at FIFA level, or said to be at FIFA level. Groundbreaking was today. When they say Busia Town, those are that's a border shared between Uganda and Kenya. Meanwhile, Barcelona are unbeaten at the Camp Nou, and there's not a single game where they've scored less than 3 goals. So the first game was 4-0 against Bilbao. They beat Deportivo Alves by 3-1. They beat Atletico de Madrid 3-1. They beat, I think it's only Eintracht Frankfurt. Oh, sorry, there's been some games. They beat Frankfurt 2-1. They beat Osasuna 2-0. They beat Oviedo 3-0. Beat Copenhagen 4-1. Beat Mallorca 3-0. Levante 3-0. Villarreal 4-1. Atletico de Madrid 3-0. Sevilla 5-2. And now just beaten Newcastle 7-2. That's at 12 goals in their last 2 fixtures. That's impressive. So it's only in 2 games against Eintracht Frankfurt and against Osasuna where they scored less than 3 goals. That is an impressive record. So Atletico de Madrid, over to you at the round of 16 there. Everybody on CBS Sport was predicting that Bodo Glimt will go through at the expense of Sporting CP. But we know that Sporting CP stunned them, beat them 5-0 yesterday to advance. Okay, trying to find as much reaction from the UEFA Champions League. Okay. Who is that team we call United? Okay. Really? Is that the evolution? Okay. Looks like most of the reaction is drawing comparisons between Premier League and Spanish La Liga football. So we're going to wait on that. These guys are embarrassing the Premier League. What's this defending? That was for the game between Newcastle and Barcelona. How on earth does Tel decide to go for himself here? I thought Matthias Tel should have crossed that. Meanwhile, it has started raining heavily here in Kampala. So looks like we're in for a night. My only hope is that power doesn't go off. That's my only hope, my only prayer. So anyways, guys, I don't remember what our predictions were, but I think we had predicted Chelsea to go through against PSG. We got that one wrong. We had predicted Arsenal to go through against Bayer Leverkusen. We had predicted Man City to get the better of Real Madrid. We got that one wrong. So that's how many? 2 wrong, 1 correct. We had predicted Barcelona to go through against Newcastle. That's 2 correct. We had predicted Sporting CP to go through against Bodo Glimt. I was a bit stoned on that one, but I inclined towards Sporting CP because of their pedigree in the competition. We had predicted Bayern Munich to go through against Atalanta. They've gone through. Liverpool to go through at the expense of Galatasaray. They've gone through. So we got 2 wrong and we got the other 6 correct. So I think we've done well in as far as our predictions are concerned. So it's Chelsea and Manchester City that we got wrong. We predicted that Atletico de Madrid would get the better of Tottenham Hotspur. So yeah, we've done pretty well for ourselves, really, in as far as those predictions are concerned. When it comes to who qualifies for UEFA Champions League quarterfinals. So it is at the quarterfinals, we'll still be giving our verdicts. But I think the biggest of all is between Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. There's 21 Champions League titles or European Cup, Winners' Cup in between those two. Then the contest between Atletico de Madrid and Barcelona, because it is a domestic La Liga derby, will be a huge one. Because yes, Atletico de Madrid have never won it, but nonetheless, it's a La Liga derby. Then the game between Liverpool and PSG, that's a renewal of old rivalries in a way. Okay, not a renewal of old rivalries, but Liverpool will be looking to see if they can, if they'll be seeking their revenge against PSG, the team that knocked them out. Arsenal will be seeking revenge against Sporting CP. They knocked them out of the UEFA Europa League back in 2022, I think. So there will be all that. So we'll be looking forward to that engagement for the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League, because I think we'll do a preview during the international break or sometime during that, because we have a 2 weeks international break that will be coming at the end of this weekend. So yeah, allow me to wrap it up here. Thank you so much, Raymond. Thank you so much, every single one of you. that has been part of tonight's podcast. Pedri, thank you so much for chipping in. Christos, thank you so much for having been part of us. For Chris, it's always a pleasure to see you guys around. We wish you a blessed night, and let's meet tomorrow in the morning at 9 a.m. Bye-bye for now. Stay blessed.